Oh boy, there we go. Get the thing working here, right, Fritz? Yeah, I think that's all the things. I think it is. Did I do that right? I think I didn't. I'm going to need to correct that. Yeah. Where's the button? Hit the button. Let's do this. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is what day is today? Today is September 18th, 2025, and we're gonna write a little bit of code today. How you doing out there, chat room? Great to see you. Let me just and we've got a couple folks showing up on the map already. Oh man, that's good stuff. Love seeing that. Thank you so much for dialing in. Let me head over to the chat rooms. We're right over here broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. When you chime in chat and you let us know and you say, hey, I'm watching from a certain location, we're going to grab that and put it out on our map, and we'll share and take a look at that in just a few minutes, and we're going to start rolling out that map to our open source application, TagsApp, today. So, hey, how's it going there? Let me take a quick look. Reg9K, how you doing there? C# Titan, good evening to you. Billicle with a big wave for us. Zovek, how's it going in mid-Missouri? Now, for some reason, it marked mid-Missouri in the middle of Tennessee. I think that's weird, but we'll have to take a look at that. Zero Infinity, how's it going there in Dallas, Texas? Patty Boy's watching from Glasgow. Have a good afternoon to you. CTI Geeks in Virginia, thank you so much. You're ordering the Meta AI glasses. So there's this thing that I've been trying to work through in my mind. AI glasses, AR, XR glasses, and then VR. And it's weird. The AI glasses are clearly, there's a camera on these things and it's going to put a little display and you're literally talking to ChatGPT. You're working directly with that. And that's pretty much it. I'm listening for the dog. No, I think he's playing with one of his toys. So, that was a joke. Hey, that's okay. Their demo was kind of like, the Meta glasses are literally the next step of Google Glass. Okay. All right, take a look at the hat. There you go. And it should say this is one of my Penn State hats. So, how you doing there, Todd? I'm going to be drinking a lot of water today. So AI glasses, I'm not really, they don't enthuse me at all. AR, augmented reality glasses, are what you see with devices like the X-Real 1 Pro, where it is a pair of sunglasses that you can see through and they overlay content on. You also see this with the Apple Vision Pro. Cool. Still a little weird. It's certainly more acceptable. The Apple Vision Pro, you're wearing a pair of ski goggles with something that looks like your eyes on the front. That's weird. I've worn a pair of Vitor Pros on an airplane. Folks don't see that as more than somebody's wearing sunglasses on the plane. Like, they don't recognize that you're wearing something that's a high-tech thing because there's a cable that comes out the back that folks don't see that. So you can do the pass-through or you can turn it completely opaque on those glasses. I was looking at a pair of X-Real 1 Pros as well. These are, they're very cool. You hook up to your phone, you plug into an HDMI from your PC, from your laptop, and you get effectively as many screens as you want on these glasses. They have an awful field of view. 57 degrees field of view. So, right, that's the width, how wide you can see. So you can set up and have a 170-inch large screen display, but as soon as you want to look at your peripheral, you want to see more outside of that, you can't see as much as you can On VR glasses, like the MetaQuest Pro and the MetaQuest 3, what is the field of view on the MetaQuest? Has a horizontal field of view of 110 degrees. It's literally double what you get on these pairs of glasses. Now, the glasses have a prism in the middle of it, and that's how you can see things projected onto the prism or see completely through it. Cool. Very, very cool to see that. And you get the pass-through experience on your Quest headset because it's got cameras on the front of it. You're not actually seeing through it. You're actually looking at what's coming through cameras, and there's a half a second or less delay in what you're seeing. Okay. HoloLens was great for that. Yep. The field of view on the Meta Quest is good enough. The field of view on these other devices isn't there. Trust me, it's not there. It's cool. It's great. If you're watching Hulu, you're watching Alien Earth on your phone, and you want to get that on a nice big screen while you're leaned back, and you're on a plane, you're somewhere, and you want to have that relaxed big screen viewing experience, you can use your phone in a pair of these Vitur or X-Real 1 glasses, and it works great. It's a really cool experience. So those XR devices are where the visor is trying to play. However, the visor uses Android XR as its operating system. Hey, Nalian, 27 months with us.
Nalian just resubscribed for 27 months.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that support. So what you're going to see with the visor is that it has, I think they said like a 90-degree field of view. The full specifications, according to VR Compare, 102-degree field of view. So not quite as big as the Meta Quest, but still really good. More than double what you see from these other devices. It's also got 4K in each eye. Not 4K total. 4K displays, 4 it is, right? 60 hertz is effectively, 30 hertz is what the human eye perceives. When you get to 60 hertz, it's, boom? What boom? Crash? What crash? I don't see anything. I didn't drop, that had to be Restream because I did not drop any frames. Yeah, I didn't drop any frames on my side here. It looks like Restream crashed looking at their website and it restarted. Basically a quarter of a circle. Yeah, I get it. We're back. Oh, good. Okay. Let me get some music playing in the background and I'll continue talking about this. I'm going to go with Stream Beats, Synthwave playlist. Hey, thank you, CTI Geek.
Tajik just resubscribed for 28 months.
Thank you so much. This is called Rendezvous, is the song we're starting. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Yeah, listen to it anywhere you'd like. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. So, what you're going to see is the visor has cameras on the front, so it will do the full video pass through at 4K display on each eye. So it's going to seem extremely real, the quality of video that passes through. The quality of video that passes through on the Meta Quest isn't that great. It's not that great. Very fuzzy. Like, I couldn't wear the Meta Quest and look at my displays here and be able to read text. Not happening. However, the visor, because of its high-res display and high-res cameras, you should be able to see. Should. So, we're waiting. The word is the visor is not going to be released until after Google launches Android XR. Google's launch for Android XR is next week. I believe that's when they said it is. And then Samsung's device, it's on the 29th, so we're 2 weeks out from Android being released. They just delayed Samsung's headset. Pushing it out to November. Well, that just messed up Visor, because what they were saying is Samsung's device is a launch partner, and launch partners get exclusivity. That's pushing out. So, yep. The folks on the Visor board are saying looks like they've been delayed again. Yeah. Just reading through here to catch up real quick. Yeah. Yep. Samsung is announcing a delay. So I would guess February at the earliest now. With that, Samsung announced, they literally just announced it hours ago, that Samsung is delaying. And Samsung being a launch partner with exclusivity, it's not going to be coming for at least a month after they launch. And they're not launching until November now. That's going to push us out. The Visor is, from the folks that are using nearly complete units, there's nearly production quality units, they're saying it's really good. However, they're using the old operating system. So we'll see. Yep. They're saying the launch could happen on October 21st in South Korea, with availability later. So, yeah. So, oh, wonderful. So, that's a problem. So, Ina Golang, I was looking for you yesterday because I was coming back to your message to answer it, and you weren't there. I will come back to that in just a second because it's a little bit off topic from what we're talking about right now. Give me a few minutes here. We'll get back to that. Cy Gamma, on this same topic, asks, have I seen the Meta glasses? Pretty cool. You can get up inside them, but maybe a bit too distracting. The Meta glasses are the next generation of Google Glass. It with a hardwired connection to Olama, to ChatGPT, to choose your favorite AI. So what? Like, you're going to get some text overlay. It's effectively you're going to get just detailed information on what you're looking at, and if that isn't creepy, I don't know what is. So, but yep, that's coming. How's it going there, Grump? Welcome. C# Titan. I dropped it. Might get it for Christmas. Doubt it. How you doing, Napalm? Hello. Yeah, we've got to assume the visor is going to be awesome, but come on, man. You are going to be pushing into 3 years delayed on this. Let me see. C# Titan asks, does Aspire support code coverage as part of testing pipeline? It's not Aspire that you need to look at for that. It's going to be XUnit or whatever testing framework you're using. If it's collecting code coverage data, that's not Aspire that's doing that. So you don't need to look into that too much. Why not release with the old OS and push an update later? Because Qualcomm has discontinued the operating system. They would literally be shipping a device that has an unsupported operating system. And for a small company to ship a device with no support from their partners, from their vendors, that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. What did you do, Thindall? The Ray Neo AR glasses. I've seen folks talk about that, and the consensus is they are the ultra cheap, low quality lenses, glasses that they get you an overlay over content, but as far as interactivity, trying to do something productive, they're a toy. They're a toy. I'm doing okay, Grump. So I am on water today, no coffee. I am due for a colonoscopy tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be going through that prep. So I am on clear liquid diet today. And then the lovely prep this evening. So the size of those glasses, and I mentioned I have the Vitur glasses. It feels like a normal size pair of sunglasses. However, because there's a prism in it, you can't put it up against your eyes like you would a pair of normal glasses. Putting a pair of AR glasses up against your face like this doesn't work because there's a prism inside of here that you're looking through. And that's where the AR content is overlaid. That prism means that you need to wear the AR glasses a little bit further down your face, which now makes it look like your Aunt Tessie and how they're doing crochet and looking at their pattern over here and looking down through their glasses at what it is they're doing down here. And so it's not quite what you expect. However, because they're sunglasses, when you are wearing it down here a little bit, nobody really tells. Nobody can really tell. They're a little bit larger. So just did yours earlier this year. Was your first one and thought it went smooth. The hardest part was the no coffee. That's what I'm running into, Nalian, today. Like, what do you mean no coffee? What do you mean? I need my bean juice. How you doing there? Is it Guinea Scene? You finished the .NET AI Bootcamp and it was awesome. Thank you. Really glad to hear that. Made that complex machine learning concepts easy to understand, providing strong foundational knowledge. There you go. Thank you. It's a great starting point for anyone wanting to learn more about AI. You're welcome. Yeah, tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. Go check it out. It was a lot of fun to create. That's right, Napalm. We are Penn State. Yeah, go watch that boot camp. It was a lot of fun to produce, and a lot of folks were watching it live here while we were broadcasting. C# Titan asks, how often do I get the operating system updates on the VR glasses? Are they done over the air? They are done over the air. And I've been getting on the Meta Quest about once every... They've picked up speed recently. Because they're pushing updates here. God, that sounds stupid, what I just said. They're picking up speed on updates because they're pushing updates. They're announcing and doing new features for their operating system. So they have been rolling out more frequent updates recently. I've been getting them maybe once a week. And I have my headset right here. Right, so I have the extra head strap up here, but it takes an extra battery on the back. So this plugs in right down here. So there's a battery that comes on the headset that'll last about 2 hours. So with this, I can snap in, these are a couple magnets here, I can magnet in an extra battery and get another 5 hours on it. So these batteries I have in a charger right here on my desk, and they just magnet in and keep the entire device charged. So as I'm coding, working, I can swap these out, no problem. I've even done wearing my Quest headset while I'm on the elliptical. So I'll be watching Hulu, I'll be watching Netflix on big screen, YouTube, big screen in that Quest headset. And because it does 6 degrees of freedom, not 3 degrees of freedom. 3 degrees of freedom is you can look around in space, right? You can look up, down, left, right. That's 3 degrees of freedom. 6 degrees of freedom, like the Quest headset has, means you can move in and out and left and right. You can move in each direction. So the Quest headset is a bit more advanced like that. The dog's upset at his water bowl. This is interesting. Let me catch up. Let me back up here to this question from Inoa Golang. How do I get out of a programming rut or slump? This is a great question. Quite frankly, stop programming for a little bit. Go touch grass. Go for a walk. Go for a bike ride. Go camping. Get away from tech. This is funny. Because he's upset at his water bowl that he drank all of and he's knocked over now. Anyways, do something else. To get out of a programming rut, do something else. Take a weekend and go camping. Mythin, thanks so much for the resub.
Subscribed for 48 months. Well, hello there.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it is in your part of the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. 30 months with us. Yeah. They've been resubscribed for 30 months. 48 months with us total. Okay, 4 years with us. All right, there we go. Really? I'm talking here. So where was I? Yeah, I see you. So, take a weekend and go away. Take a week. Go away, go on vacation, go to the beach, travel, do something different. Get away from tech. Yeah, you're going to have your phone with you. Don't spend your time on your phone looking at it, doing tech things, okay? Unwind, unplug. If you get ideas for tech projects and the like, write them down. Don't type them on your phone. Pen and paper, okay? You'll recharge after a couple days. And depending on how much tech burnout you're in, you'll need longer time away, okay? But it's important to get that recharge. So that's what I would recommend for you. And then come back to it afterwards. You're going to see things differently. You're going to not have as much stress and pressure on you. And having that change is a good thing. All right? Thanks so much for that question. Let me see here. Ads just kicked in over here on Twitch. If you don't have .NET 9 installed in the Visual Studio 2026 Insider, live unit testing won't work. Yeah. The Visual Studio 2026 updates, was there an update that was published today? There's some really good things in Visual Studio 2026 that folks have been asking about that you want. No, I'm not getting an update listed for 2026 yet. I have updates recommended for 2022, but no. So thank you so much for the well wishes. Yeah, it's going to take a lot, especially overnight tonight. You have a super cheap MetaQuest from work. The MetaQuest 1 it worked. Fine device. MetaQuest 2, much better. The Quest 3, don't get the Quest Pro, and don't get the 3S. The Quest 3 has better lenses, has a better display. The 3S is intended to be a slightly scaled down, more affordable device. Get the 3. You'll like it. Which one did you get there, Grumph? So, and I primarily use mine with the Immersed application. He's fighting with his water bowl. Hey, what are you doing? Your boy would splash all the water out of his bowl if it wasn't his type of water. Yeah. Right? Funny like that. Exactly, Cy Gamma. Look at a tech detox if you're feeling a little bit of burnout. Finished your data science portfolio and chilling. There you go. How's it going, McNets? Hello, hello. You want to remove the default extra themes from Visual Studio? Yeah. Turn the camera. I can't turn it that far. MetaQuest 2 refurbished. Okay. You're gonna get a fine experience. Try Immersed VR with it. It's a free application to download. There's a subscription if you want to use larger displays with it. You pay them $5 and you'll see the difference. It is phenomenal. I swear by that. My buddy John Galloway, he likes to use the Windows integration with the Quest operating system. I don't like it. I don't. So, yeah, the boot camp was an AI boot camp that we did back in July here on the channel. You can find the recording over on YouTube. And I think I have it linked on the front page, don't I? It should be on the front of my YouTube. I'm not going to go dig it up right now. You would not let us see pup. Let me see. The themes that you see in Visual Studio 2026, they're not taking up a giant amount of space on disk. Don't get bent out of shape about those. Okay? That's not where... And I think they're mostly, like, CSS type of a thing installed. I haven't even looked at the themes on it. Yeah, there they are. I want to turn back on my Midnight Purple. What do we got over here? C# Titan with a great question here. Have I watched Alien Earth using the MetaQuest? Yes. And it's great. The immersion is phenomenal. Being able to be kind of immersed in it. So here's all the themes that ship with it now, and I believe these are mostly like a CSS thing. Yeah, Juicy Plum, and it's just a little bit of purple in the background. But I like Midnight Purple 2077. There we go. So, you've heard of people buying third-party lenses for them. So I do have prescription lenses that snap into my Quest headset, so that when I'm not wearing contacts. I don't have to wear glasses. They're really nice in the they're really nice to use with the headset. However, they're prescription to me, so I can't just hand it off with those lenses in there for somebody else to use. So yeah, love it. You wish they'd bring office assistants to Visual Studio? That's what you have in analyzers. Like, that's what analyzers do. That's you customizing what Visual Studio Code, what the compiler is going to recommend and report back when you compile things. So, yes, that's what that is. To put an avatar to that, to interact with you, that might be fun. To put an avatar in front of the analyzers. He's gone quiet. And he usually goes to sleep during the day while I'm over here. Eric with a question here. Do I have a dog? Yes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Do not bring back Clippy with AI. He'll become sentient and take revenge on us all. No, bring back Cortana. Like, that's a thing. So, before I get in and show you what I've done, where I've updated that, I've got one more thing that I want to talk about. I mentioned last night that I received as a gift. I don't even know if I'm supposed to receive this as a gift. I'm not going to wear this hat. But I received easily the most unique and inaccessible, hard to get hat in my collection. Like, there are some hats that I've had custom made. Sure. But there are some that you can't buy. And I got one of them. If you watch American football, if you watch the National Football League, there are folks who work on the sidelines from the league, and they wear hats that have the league logo on it. And there's different colors for folks that work in different parts of supporting the teams on both sidelines during the game, right? These are not officials, but these are folks who assist in the production and technical delivery of the game. And I got one of their hats. It's purple. You know how much I enjoy using purple for all my colors and things in here, but I got a purple National Football League hat. I can't go into how I got this, but it's never going to be worn. This is not leaving my collection. But I am tickled that it was gifted to me. I can't share too much about how it was gifted to me, but that is phenomenal. I would love to figure out ways to get more of these types of hats from other sports. Like, is there a way that I could get a baseball umpire's hat from Major League Baseball? Ooh. Stuff like that, right? There's an orange, I believe it's an orange cap that NFL officials on sidelines wear that do the timekeeping. And there's, I think it's a blue cap that the guys who keep all the footballs, right? I believe they wear that color. Yeah, TV timeout guy. That's right, Pellin. And they've got these orange oven mitts they wear. I call them oven mitts. They're mittens, but they're giant orange sleeves that go up to their elbows so that they can wave their arms and indicate there's a stoppage. The television cameras have gone away, and now they've got a clock that they hold that shows how much time is left in a television timeout, in a broadcast timeout. You'll see this in college football. They're at the time official is at one end of the field and has a time on a stick. It's literally on a 6 foot tall stick. It's as tall as me, right? And they spin it around, and you can see an LED display of a time counting down, and that's the time delay. And they wear a special hat to indicate that they are that official as well. Really cool stuff. 1 second here. I got to check on what he's up to. Oh, this might be a problem. He's decided to start chewing on the bathroom cabinets. Sounds almost like a ring girl. Kind of. So... Now, when you look up NFL sideline hats, they typically show you these are the hats that the teams wear. I need to step away. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Somebody's in his crate for a bit. Have to notify the wife. Anyways, so sideline tour. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. So there is one person who's the TV liaison. They wear a green hat near the 20-yard line next to the network liaison. Here we go. And coach-to-coach tech. So they wear a yellow hat. They're on the sideline in the coaches' booths. Oversees functionality of coaching staff communication systems. So the headsets that the guys on the sideline, the coaches on the sideline, are using to talk to the folks that are in the booths at the top of the stadium that are watching the overhead. Still photo tech. These are the purple hats. So there's one on each sideline and one in each coach's booth. So there's 4 people that work this. So this is the one that I got. Blue is the injury video review tech. I thought there was football technology rep. This is the instant replay booth in gray. Coach to player tech. So the players inside their helmets, they have a radio. So the orange hat is that. I thought there was orange for the time. Officiating GDAs, maroon hat and shirt. Instant replay field operator. So these are the folks who have the instant replay booth that they go and present. The medical folks, 2 with a red hat and it looks like a white shirt. Field communicator. This is, okay, it was in a different, it must have been in a different league or something that was wearing orange. But okay, these folks wear teal. Event frequency coordinator. Orange hat with EFC. No. Sets up monitors and wireless frequencies. And uniform inspector on each sideline with a white NFL shirt. So, yeah. That's the one that I was able to acquire. I would love to get a gray one. But those hats, right? These hats are hard to get your hands on. I would love to figure out where I can get, right? Gray NFL sideline hat. See, they have the team logos on it. I don't want the team. I want the NFL shield. Yeah. See, like, no. That looks like NFL shield hats, and I watch this be like a team with a shield. Yeah, no. No. That? No. So that's what I got my hands on, and absolutely thrilled. And like I said, not going to wear it. Not going to wear it. That's got a special place that it's going to on a shelf, and pretty happy about that. Yeah, pup jail. That's right. The dog's been put in his crate for a little bit. So, I want to get into what was that? If I'm able to discuss or ignore, that's fine. That Microsoft leadership realizes they're peeved off those that make the magic happen. I don't know if they have. There have been reports, rumors that there are folks who are unhappy. There's been protests at Microsoft events and on campus. That's been in the news. That's public knowledge. There are people at Microsoft that are not happy about some of the decisions of the leadership? Yes. That's about as far as I can go with that. But those things are public knowledge about there's protests, there's been folks that created an encampment on Microsoft campus. Yes, there are folks that are expressing themselves through various protest actions against Microsoft leadership. They're welcome to express themselves. They're not allowed to do things that are illegal or put other folks' safety in jeopardy. Some of them have done that. In an organization of that size, there's always someone who's going to be someone who isn't happy. Microsoft has more than 200,000 employees all in. Yeah. That's absolutely a thing. So we've got a number of folks that have been chiming in here, different locations. There we go. Yeah, there's the Marianas Trench. So, in Brazil, we got 2 folks in Sao Paulo. Why does it say new dog? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, don't be a dork. Real easy rule. Don't be a dork. So always have fun with the map, and we're going to do more work on and with the map here. I probably shouldn't stream too long today so that I can get the dog, take him out, and yeah. Anyways, hello from Toilo, Louisiana. Palin did not get picked up. So sorry. Ionescu got picked up in Finland. So, yeah, Walter in Knoxville. There we go. So, anybody celebrating? I don't want to go too far into that topic. Celebrating somebody's death that was not a sworn enemy is terrible. By his own admission, I don't agree with his politics, but by his own admission, he was racist. He was sexist. He believed that his right to a weapon was more important than your children's right to life. That's, in my opinion, a terrible person. I'm not going to celebrate their death. I'm not going to celebrate their life either. But when you feel that your right to a weapon is more important than my children's lives, there's an ethical decision that you need to reevaluate. So, all right. Moving on off of some touchy topics. And for those of you that are in the States, I am so disappointed in our administration, in our business leaders. The fascist state is here. There is no other way to talk about it. The fascist state is here. It doesn't affect most of us in our day-to-day lives, but fascism is 100% here, and not only can you not escape it, you can't talk negatively about it. That's the way it is. So, it's not a good place to be right now in the United States. Yes. I'm going to allow that. He is visiting the UK this week. Voldemort is. I can talk about Voldemort with no problem. Voldemort is not a problem to talk about. There's regulation of what folks are saying in this country in a terrible way that is 100% un-American, and that's a fact, and it's getting worse. We're going to talk about code, absolutely. C# Titan asking, did I have to drink that awful liquid? That's they're having me take just regular over-the-counter laxatives, and I start that later this afternoon in about 8 hours. But I'm on a liquid diet for the rest of the day today. So I've got chicken broth, I've got Jello, I've got lemon flavored Italian ice. Yeah, I am on the liquid diet. That also means no caffeine. I have the disposable underwear ready to go. I fully expect that I'm gonna end up putting a folding snack table next to the toilet, because overnight I'm not gonna have too much control, and it's not gonna be fun. So they do have pills, but I have the liquid. Yes, all the liquid stuff. It's not bad. So I had an endoscopy when I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and that wasn't bad. They put you under, they do the business, you wake up later. Like, no big deal. The prep is what's a pain in the neck. Yeah, the colonoscopy prep. Yep. So, the argument, the fight that I've been having with my health insurance is that I'm high risk in several different ways. My maternal grandfather passed from complications from colon cancer. So, right there, members of my family. Go ahead, take a look. There you go. Members of my family have been diagnosed and have been discovered to have polyps. That's a thing. I have celiac disease. That's a thing. So I'm high risk, and my insurance company was refusing to cover it. I literally had to engage my corporate HR department to get them to approve that, yes, I can get a colonoscopy. So you sang Black Hole Sun as you passed out for your colonoscopy? They tell you to count backwards from 100. And I think I got to 90. And my problem is waking up after being knocked out for a procedure. I take a while to wake up. So weigh yourself before you have the procedure, and then tell the doc how your weight loss journey is going. I'm expecting. So I weighed in yesterday morning before I started liquid diet, any of that. I weighed in, and I'm now down 23 pounds. So I had done some working out. I had stuck to my diet, and I'm down 23 pounds now. I can't do my diet today because I'm on liquid diet. So we're gonna drink sugared sodas. We're gonna have things that are not typically on my diet, but we're gonna go a little bit off it because we're gonna blow out no ring on the other side here. You know what I'm saying? So, you went through all the prep and then it snowed. Oh, that's awful. Best sleep ever. I've heard that also. Yep. You have insurance from your wife's corporation? The insurance that we have has fought me tooth and nail about many things that I have gone for. I have a high deductible plan. So, hey, you can go and visit and do anything. However, they're also quick to reject my filings. They rejected all kinds of dental filings. Like, oh, wow, you went to get a dental cleaning. It was your second this year. Sorry. Like, wait a second. I'm supposed to get 2 cleanings a year. Oh, you're right. Okay, and then they finally paid out 9 months later. Like, health insurance, I need to keep more tabs on my health insurance than I do keeping track of accounting for my taxes. And I've called them out on it. And they agree. That's awful. Then do something about it. Yeah, it's brutal. So, you found out your wife's insurance is way more generous than mine. Chris Funk, I found out the same thing. My wife works for a nonprofit. It's a little bit more expensive to put me on the plan. But it covers a lot more than what my employer gives, which is a travesty. That's all I'm going to say about that. We'll move on. I've been quite vocal in public about how I do not like that insurance company and how they have wronged me, and I have the receipts. So if anybody wants to confront me on that about how you can't be saying these things, I'm telling the truth. I'm showing and sharing that dealing with health insurance companies in the United States is a problem, and it is not all sunshine and cookies. So, yep, there was a surcharge to add me as well. Napalm. I was in a car accident. I passed along my car insurance information for my doctor, for the various medical professionals that I saw, because it was related to a car accident. Those medical professionals for 4 years were filing their claims to the car insurance company and were getting rejected on every claim. Came to me, I had to turn around and refile it with the correct insurance company. I didn't know they were filing it with the wrong insurance company. I was just told your claim was rejected. I turned around and refiled it with my health insurance company, and then I would get whatever percentage pay that I had to take care of. And in some cases, I had to take care of all of it. But it took me the better part of 4 years to figure out that my medical professional team were using the wrong insurance. Like, you didn't think it was a problem when you called these people and said, hey, we've got a medical claim for Jeff. He's going to have this procedure done. He's going to do this. And they're asking, well, how do you give a colonoscopy to a Buick? You didn't think that was a problem? Yeah, no, I had to deal with that. So, don't they make the money on the bet that people don't get sick? Exactly. You got a bill for $200,000 at one time from the hospital. Why they never send it to the insurance company? Same thing happened to me, where when my daughter was born, I received a bill for $50,000 because the insurance company rejected it. Because the way the hospital filed the claim with the insurance company was wrong. I told the hospital, go back and refile your paperwork, and it was paid for. My wife had a terrible accident falling off a horse, broke her ankle. 100% not paid for by my health insurance, and I did pay $50,000 for her to be treated. That's in America. That's with an insurance program from the largest software company in the world. And I paid $50,000 for a bone repair. I have the receipts. That's a fact. These are things that happen in this country. So let me move on. Let's get into writing some code. That's more fun than talking about these heavy items here. Robson, I would not recommend it. Wait until at least next year. Wait until at least, even then, 2027. Wait until at least 2027 if you're going to consider coming to the States. I do not recommend it. I'm already concerned about what's going to happen when I come back from Portugal. Yeah. Because the folks at the border, doesn't matter if you're American or not, are not polite. My vocals are not working there. Are we just not getting some of these? Give that a shot. Yeah, public health is a disaster in this country right now. It's a disaster. So, 2029, and that's an if. That's an if. So, moving on. Yeah, right. No, you're not wrong. And that's the argument, and yeah, I'm not going to go too much further down that. Let's head over. I want to talk to you about the work I did on Azure KeyVault, getting it working and plugged into TagsApp. And the more and more that I look at this, the more and more that I think, man, is this over-engineered or what? So we have a configuration system here that wraps the standard configuration providers so that we can read and write to those configuration sources. The standard configuration providers for .NET applications are environment variables, command line arguments, and file entries in app settings JSON. Those are the three main ways that you get configuration into your application. Azure KeyVault can be added into the mix to load configuration in. Of note, all of those configuration providers in the standard configuration interfaces do not allow writing. They are a one-way binding. You can read that data source, and we want to be able to configure those items and write those data points out. And that's what we've been enhancing and adding here. We have a static singleton configure TagsApp factory. And this creates some sort of a configuration object that allows you to do that interaction with the configuration. Initialize it, get configuration of a strongly typed object, get configuration of a string by some ID that's stored, and set configuration with some sort of a strongly typed value using the generic syntax here. There's an empty configuration that I wrote here that literally does nothing so that we can initialize and know when there is no configuration provided. And I have a database configuration that knows how to connect to both Postgres and SQLite and work with a little database table to read and write values using, I believe we're using Dapper with this. Am I using Dapper? No, I'm using standard ADO. Yeah, that's standard ADO. So, not bad. And I added into this an encryption provider so that it will two-way AES 256-bit encrypt values that it writes to a database. So even if you're using SQLite with this, it'll write and store data encrypted on disk. Fine. But we need a little bit more secure data store. So I wrote a KeyVault provider for this. implements the same interface, brings in a KeyVault secret client, and keeps a cache in memory. And every 5 minutes, it will check that cache and figure out if it needs to remove things, eject it from the cache. Get configuration by ID goes and checks that cache first. Right? Yeah. And if it has the value and it's not expired, it returns it. Otherwise, go to KeyVault to go get the value. Pretty straightforward. Saves off with a cache time to live into the in-memory cache, so we don't have to go reach over to KeyVault every time to go load that data. And set configuration will set it in the cache. Set it in KeyVault and then write it into the cache as well. So we get the two-way update both in the local cache and in KeyVault. There's some extensions to set up KeyVault, so it can go find where's the connection, where do I get the KeyVault? And if we're in development, set up the KeyVault emulator. Otherwise, grab that URI for the KeyVault, set up the default Azure credential, and go connect to it. That's it. And then our actually adding it goes and registers the services appropriately for the KeyVault configuration. The piece that we were kind of dealing with the other day was when we initialize and start the application, we go and say, go initialize our configuration provider. How do we do that? Well, I added this extra callback here so that I can pass in and say, here's additional information about how you should be creating the configuration provider. And if there is a callback, go do it. And right now, I'm forcing the content configuration to be saved in Postgres and using a Postgres connection string called tagsapdb. That initialized configuration over here writes that configuration into KeyVault in this case, so that we can get that location information later. If there's a problem configuring this, if for some reason this doesn't work correctly and it errors out, and we're still looking at an empty configuration, if we have it configured properly, mark it as configured, and exit returning that other configuration option. If there's an error, same type thing. Bail out, and then continue going and creating the default database configuration. And it goes through and does the exact same thing here. Honestly, this part here, I should move into the database, the database appropriate provider, and just call it over there. I think that's going to be a very wise thing to do. Yeah. Let me catch up on chat here. How did I install Midnight Purple? It brought over the extension that I had. Extensions, manage extensions. Browsing Visual Studio 2022. Oh, sure, go ahead, do that update. Midnight Purple 2077 theme says installed, and I've got the doodad here. Usage may cause unexpected behavior, but I already had it installed and it just upgraded. So, Zero Infinity asks, how often am I updating the repository? The source code repository? Which repository? The KeyVault repository. I'm not updating it that frequently. And in fact, while the application is running, I'm not updating it that frequently at all. So the configuration options that it sets up here with, and I don't provide a way to load this up. I have it caching for 60 minutes before it goes back to KeyVault and refreshes. The GitHub, I'm updating my fork of it every time that I'm on stream. I'm pushing updates every couple days. So, and we're currently working in a branch for this sprint, coming off the .NET Conf 1 branch, and that's where you'll see the activity going on. So there was a merge last week, was the last block that you see here. So I'll share that link in the chat so folks can see that. I forgot to bring up YouTube here. Branch. Yeah, there we go. That's me. Thank you. Cool. Moving on. So I believe that those failover configurations are all working properly. And inside my program CS, I set up KeyVault all the time now. But when this runs, it does nothing if it doesn't have a vault configuration passed in, a vault location. So when the callback here, add Azure KeyVault configuration, it goes to set up and get the secret client that would have been configured up here, but it wasn't. When it goes to get it, if it doesn't get it, it says, oh, it's not configured. Fail. I don't have one. Return empty instance. Don't return an Azure KeyVault configuration. So in that way, this should fail over properly to database if there is no vault configuration. So when I look at program CS, this is being configured coming in from app host in Aspire. In app host, I'm adding Azure KeyVault here. So my Azure KeyVault emulator is defined up here. If I don't include that, then this will fail, but it won't have that configuration passed in, and we should fall back to database configuration. Hey, Ravnos Archon, how you doing there, friend? Good to see you. So if I run this now, I should get my Azure KeyVault configuration. And then we'll have that more secure way to run TagsApp. I'm not going to continue developing with it. I'm going to go back to database because that's where I have things configured. And we'll continue processing there. So we should see this start up. And so there's my database, Postgres admin. There's the KeyVault, right? So our little emulator here. And down here, here's the website. There we go. Click into that. It should load, but not let me log in. Because it doesn't have all the configuration things. I hit breakpoints in here, didn't I? Let's disable all breakpoints. Go. Thank you. And with a little bit of help. So I'm not sure what it's hitting there. That looks like it's hitting database. Yeah, that's hitting the database. It shouldn't have hit the database. It should have hit KeyVault. Gotta back out. Go take a look. So, right, this one, and down in here, it should have configured that. One second here. So we should see all that get set up properly here. And then it run KeyVault. So how's it going, Ravnos? Good to see you. I'm on liquid diet for today because I have a procedure tomorrow. So additionally, I had to cancel the Gunner stream that I was going to do this afternoon because it's right in the middle of when I'm supposed to be doing prep. That's a problem. All right, setting KeyVault options. Let's see how we do it. See how we do here. Stepping in, getting the connection string. Yes, we didn't get a connection string. Oh, this is the doctor. Hang on, I need to take this. Oh, dear God. If folks make these things so complicated. Letting the wife know. Yeah, this is... And I think that's it. Okay. Ugh. No, sorry about that. Yeah, I had a call from my medical team that I had to take, and I'm being set up for a colonoscopy tomorrow. So I had to make sure I get all the details correct there. Or else we're gonna have a really crappy problem. All right. This is saying it didn't get a URI passed in. What? Right there. Oh, it's not passed in. Right. Okay, so that should have failed over to the database with those configurations. So when I click to open, we should get database running. How you doing there, Jean Valjean? Hello. You found the dark mode switch on Twitch? Yes. Make sure you use that. So I do get all the things here, and that's all working with the database just fine. Terrific. Now let me turn that back on so that it does pass through the KeyVault reference. Right, so it is going to have the configuration for a KeyVault. And here we go. Ugh. I feel like tonight, tomorrow, my body's being used as a chemistry set, and we're gonna see what. Let's see what explodes. So now it has the KeyVault. Come on, finish getting started there. Let's go. Let's go. There it is. It's running. That's running now, and we should get KeyVault running. So yeah, go ahead, run that thing. Did we get a secret client? We did. And I should not be able to log in. Yep. So this is what single user mode looks like. Yeah. Yeah. But it didn't... I'm kind of in this torn mode where it's single user mode, but it's trying to get you to log in, but it can't do the login because it doesn't have the configuration. That looks like it's correct, but I want to... That should have let me right into system admin, because I would have been configured as a in single user mode, I am automatically logged in. So let's verify that. Right, say single user mode active. Inside program, there is a section. If we're in single user mode, here's the current user. And it effectively logs you in. So let me put a breakpoint right there and just make sure that we hit this. There we go. Am I in single user mode? Yes. So we're going to set you up as an admin user. Cool. And away we go. And that should... So something isn't seeing me as an admin user. Don't know why. Let me go to a question I see there in chat from Null Ref Check. We get this type of question a lot here. Is .NET Aspire only related to Azure resources, or can I use it on an aging Linux box that I'm using that has a Dockerized .NET Blazor application and Dockerized Microsoft SQL instance? .NET Aspire has no explicit or implicit connections that require you to use any specific language, stack, or hosting provider. It comes with different providers that you can integrate and choose to work with, whether it's Microsoft SQL, it's Postgres, it's MongoDB. Those are up to you to choose and use however you'd like. How you deploy things after you build with Aspire is up to you. However, we do have deployment scripts available that will help you publish to Azure. There are tools out there that we're building and extending called publishers that will allow you to build Docker files and Docker Compose files appropriately, and also Kubernetes kubectl files. While those features are maturing, there's another tool out there that you can use called Aspirate, A-S-P-I-R, the number 8. There it is in chat. Look that up. That will help you generate that Docker Compose file so that you can deploy a little bit easier out to your aging Linux box. Should absolutely work. So the Aspire Docker Compose feature is coming. It's not ready for prime time yet. So that's Microsoft that I'm referring to. That the Aspire team is building that publisher feature. So hope that clears it up. Why am I not getting logged in here? Is it... I have a sneaky suspicion this needs to be above authentication and authorization. Right. If I do that and restart. Yeah, I'm seeing a mixed theme interaction as well. It didn't do the midnight purple the whole way around. It just did the background for the editor. That's weird. So here we go. I should get single user mode and it should see me as an admin and just let me through. Okay. Almost there. Come on. I'm also seeing that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, am I going to run into an issue when I get into multi-user mode? I don't think so. Single user mode active. Go set up all the various providers. Microsoft, GitHub, LinkedIn, Google, Twitch, and Apple are the 6 providers that I have here. Thanks for the link there, Unesco. Appreciate it. Cool. That's what I'm looking for here. If I go back and turn off KeyVault, right, so semi, comment that, and we're going to comment you also. Now rerun. It doesn't have the KeyVault reference. It's not going to wait for KeyVault. It should start and connect in and use the database. And I should be able to log in with my normal credentials. Now, all this is running with Edge. All my login credentials are in Firefox, I think. I'd love to know what's taking so long right there to start up. So if I log in, go ahead and log in with GitHub. And I'm off and running. Yep. There's my providers, external authentication, there's client IDs and the secrets. They're stored in the database right now. That doesn't load properly. Let's see. But I should be able to see your messages coming through here on the moderation. So we got some Mastodon messages, lots of Mastodon messages. So there we go. Fantastic. Cool. Could I do some check like KeyVault enabled, attach the things to the app so you don't need to comment, uncomment them? Sure. Right, I could put a parameter up here. KeyVault enabled equals false. Right. And right, if KeyVault enabled tags app web dot wait for KeyVault with reference KeyVault. And now I can turn it on and off by flipping that boolean. Sure. Sure. And I could probably put it into a properties file somewhere. Configuration file somewhere, but I don't want to waste time doing something that's really a development thing. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. I think I can commit this then. Like, it does all the things that I wanted it to do. I'm going to commit this and get it moving along here so we can get into our next feature we want to work on. Do 1 second. Okay. All right. Ugh. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Make it so. Publish that. Then I'm going to go back over here. I had labeled them as 2 issues. Go back. Down here. So, actually, 3. 504, 507, and 510. Yes. And we're going to put that into that branch. Added encryption for database config and Azure KeyVault. Fixes 504, yes. 507, yes. 510. Make it so. And go ahead and wait for that. Wait for that to build. We'll get it merged in. Mark those 3 issues as fixed, and then we'll move on and take a look at the next feature to address here. Come on. And this should be quick to build. Right, man, there's a lot of nullable errors there. There we go. Testing. Yeah. Eight errors. What do we got? These are KeyVault configuration tests that, quite frankly, aren't a thing. Like, it generated them, but we're not using it. Where'd they go? No, I want that one. KeyVault configuration test. Yeah. Where's that? TagZap unit test. TagZap unit test configuration. Oh, in here. Yeah, these two. Developers. Hello. Developers. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. I'm just going to remove these for right now. I'm just going to exclude them. Not that one. This one. Yeah, go ahead, save. They were generated unit tests that don't align with what we already have. Developers. Thank you so much for the follow. Laureate, hello. So, I expect that'll build and test properly. Building and testing again. So that took 1:12 last time when it failed. It's not going to create the Docker image. Yep, getting packages out of cache. Because we haven't changed the packages that we're using. Here it goes. Come on now. I'm feeling good about this. But we'll see when we get to the test. Like, they were excluded. It should run right through. There it is running the test now. I excluded the KeyVault tests. But that worked. I'm going to merge this into the Sprint feature branch. So, yep. Fantastic.
I'm making a note here.
Are you?
Huge success.
Good.
At failing basic programming concepts at Genisco 7. Your consistency is remarkable.
Charlie loves you. Let me mark those now as those three as fixed. Here. Yeah. Cool. What else do we need to do? The installation experience, I think we're okay on that. We're going to bring in the map. There's a number of sizing things. And then allow moderators to load older messages from the message details screen. That might be real quick to do. Yeah, resizing and custom Blazor error UI. I don't know what to think of this one just yet, and I feel like it's going to be a quick one to do. Right? I should be able to change branch. Looked like it's synced right away there. Is it? Let's take a quick look. You say that. Didn't think so. And you would be wrong. All right. Moving on. Yeah, go ahead and reload all that. And let's see if we can do a error UI real quick here. Smirking Squiggly, how you doing there? Frank, how's things? Yeah, go ahead. Update and do your thing here. There you go. Developers. Welcome in, Pixel Arcs. How's it going? Glad to have you here with us. Let's go over here. Where is it? App. And I forget how you do custom error UI for Blazor. How it does the yellow bar at the bottom. That's the reconnect. Thank you. I'd like to put together a custom Blazor error user interface for Tags app. Instead of the yellow bar at the bottom. Suggest something that fits into the current design and implement it. Go. Hey, Paradise, how you doing there? Watching the streams, don't really know how to implement any of the things I'm doing. How can I be this good? Where do I start? Do I need a web API? Yes, you can be this good. I'm doing okay. I have a colonoscopy tomorrow, and that's what's going on and distracting me a little bit here. I'm this good because I've practiced, because I know where to look for help. You can learn where to look for help. You can practice. That's why I tell folks to find something that you're interested in and try writing a little test application that works with that. Collections are an easy thing. Everybody has a collection of something, right? I collect hats. You might collect movie posters, coins, baseball cards, what have you. Everybody's got a collection of something. Create a little app that stores information about your collection. That's your practice. Go figure out what you want to do with that and learn how to do your web application better with that little hobby project, right? That's where you can practice, right? Athletes practice all the time. As technologists, we need practice too. You can read the documentation, you can read the manuals, you can read the instructions, you can listen to streamers, bloggers, YouTubers. That's great. Practice. So I'm very far along on some of these things. That's okay. Anything that you would like me to explain further, I can certainly pause and explain further on. You want to build an OCR app? You wonder how that would work with C#. Python seems so much easier. So Python seems easier because it's just the Python scripts are text sitting in files that are easily readable. However, that's what C# is too. There's some ceremony to how you set up and organize a .NET application with C#, but it's the same ceremony you go through setting up a JavaScript application. You need to have some sort of a project file that defines, here's all my packages I'm going to include, here's some of the things that you need to know about the files and scripts that are inside my application. Just like a JavaScript application, you've got to run it with some sort of a tool. You run .NET run to run it, just like you use Python to run a Python script. You just need to learn the various pieces there.
Bushero's just resubscribed for 44 months. Got trap in ads. Now it's fixed. C# heart.
Thank you so much, Frank. Really appreciate that support. Yeah. And Twitch is telling me we are more than halfway to my goal of 200 subscribers. Very cool. Thank you. To use a webcam phone camera to read data from a piece of paper and then analyze it. So there are libraries that you can get that will allow you to do that. To connect to a camera and work with it. So that's, you just need to find the right libraries. If you're building a web-based application, you can fire up the camera through the browser. So I haven't been paying attention to NPM this week. Hey, that's great. Good luck to you. That looks like it's done. So let's see, what do we have here? What did we do? Created a custom boundary error boundary component. Okay, that's what? Okay. With child content and a toast message that says an error has occurred. Nice. I can work with that. Update the connection status handler. So we had a connection status handler. So that it puts up a toast message when connection changes. I don't think I want that. Oh, no, it's the same thing that was over here. And it looks like it actually made that toast service a little bit easier to use. Did it? Integrated it into the main layout. Custom error boundary around the body. Okay. And updated in the app. Okay, let's see how it works. I should be on my own branch right now. And I don't think I created a branch. No. This one we can delete. Did it? Yeah. Let's call this feature new error. Yeah. Yeah, bring them over. That's right. But before I commit, yeah, go ahead, keep all that. Let's give it a try and test and see how it works. You made an appearance in the Scott Hanselman unscripted on .NET? Yeah. And build errors. I don't think you did it right, Copilot. Now, I thought we merged. And I thought we updated that. It's not in here. Stand by. Add all the things. Jump back. I don't think you are. No. Because, oh, there it is. Looks like we got it. Stand by. That sure looks like it worked. Try it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hang on. There it is. Says it's running. Do its thing. Yeah. Hey, how you doing there, Olu the Dragon? Okay. So let's shut off the website. And we should get a reconnect message over here as it shuts off. So it's stopped. And I'm not getting a message. Now, it's not reading that. I thought it would have read it. So there it is running. That's fine. And it just... Well, I didn't get the error message. So there's the moderation view. There's the countdown that it's trying to reconnect. And when it does come back, we should see it go away and say reconnected. That's fine. How should I best test error messages? Let's just throw an exception on the index page, the admin index page, right? Right in here. Override on initialized. Throw new exception. Fine, restart. Let's go. I think we've got this. I think we've got this. Have a good one, Zero Infinity. That's not the... There I am. So now if I go to admin... That's not the error. Okay. And in routes... So let's go to main layout. Really, you're not going to jump through? There's the toast provider. Yeah, what happened to the error boundary? Where'd the... You. Custom error boundary. Said you were going to do it in here. But you didn't do that. Even though I said keep on that. So what else didn't you do? What? This doesn't make sense. Like, I said keep on that and it didn't keep. And this is doing a thing. And I don't think it's doing a thing here. Eat the broke. I can almost guarantee that's what happened. Because that's not the file on disk. You might be right. Feature? No. Yes. But no, it's not there. Oh, there it is. And yes. All right, try that again then. How did I get on the wrong branch? Oh, because I changed to go and it's why do you think you can do that? Sure, go ahead. Fix it with Copilot. I haven't worked with error boundaries in Blazor in a long time. Yeah, Copilot's confused. Pitbox, welcome. Okay. You're going to tell me what you did there? I guess not. Yeah, error boundaries have child content and then error content. No. So it added, it puts CSS in the middle of these Razor files. And it didn't escape those two. Yeah. Try it again. Come on, tell me what failed. Are we going to go through and do this for every one of these pages that you went and wrote custom CSS into instead of using standard custom CSS, isolated CSS? We'll go fix that in a minute. Everything's starting up. Mm-hmm. Come on now. Yep, go ahead, log in. Really? There we go. Do my two-factor. Do the two-factor here. Yeah, I know. Sure, go ahead, update. Well, come on, redirect. Thank you. So now this should error out. Yes, that's right. Yes, I know. That's not the error boundary. Because it uses admin layout. Which is part of main layout. So it should have appeared inside of This isn't how you do error boundaries. Error boundaries are done with a couple of tags. Error boundaries. So you wrap it in a tag, error boundary. And you add some error content to display and content to display to attempt to render. You're not going to show me this. There is a current exception. Fantastic. So let's wrap this as this is the error content. I don't need to include that. Really? And it's child content. Yep, that's right. Can you hot reload that? Yes, I know it's an exception. There we go. That doesn't go anywhere. So I don't have a way. Refresh page, toggle details, recover content. Is it? We should have gotten that appearing. Oh, is it not? What was the exception? Show me that. Yep, I know that one. So I could try catch on that. Right, doing the old JavaScript try catch. Right. Yep. Ignore disposal errors. And then we'll do some CSS shuffling here in a second. But this should be... That should be the end of this issue. And then I can remove that throw exception that I put out there just to force an error. Ad starts in about 30 seconds on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, no ads. Okay, go ahead and load. Yep, there's that. Okay. That's because the debugger's attached. No. These buttons don't work at all. Why? Because this is not interactive. That's why. Interactive server. Which means that everything below it is going to be interactive server. Crap. I don't know if I wanted to do that. I think I've got to restart because of that edit type. Ah, rats. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Hey, Ozturk. Asking. That's a good question, and I know where that comes from. Developers who contribute to open source, are they really smart? Ozturk would love to contribute as well, but the repos look very complicated. The folks who contribute to open source are really smart about the project that they're working on. They're not necessarily overall smart, but they know a lot about that thing that they're working on. They're going to look complicated at first, but what you're running into is something that we call imposter syndrome. I don't know if I'm good enough to do. Do I have the skills necessary to do? We all get it. These folks, they know their stuff around their project. They may know a lot more. They might not know much else besides just that's in their project. Good example of this, there are folks that work on web framework UIs that don't build websites. They don't build websites. They know how to build their web UI framework. But build a website, an application for somebody to actually interact with? No. That's a thing. That's okay. Oh. Well, this could be dicey. Yeah. What if... What if we put it here? Just made that part interactive. So, I hope that helps a little bit. Hey, Eddie Dre and Code with Sean. Sean had lots of imposter syndrome. Still have it on occasion. It happens. It's okay. I get imposter syndrome every time I go on stage at an in-person conference. Like, am I good enough to actually be on this stage? Like, there's a lot of people out there that are looking at me. Am I good enough to be here? Am I the right guy to be talking about this thing? I get that. I get that myself. It's a thing. I go back to, and I reference this every now and again when I talk about imposter syndrome. There was a segment, a clip in the old TV show Lost. I can't believe I just called Lost an old TV show. In the first season, the first episode, and the one lead character, main character, neurologist, doctor named Jack. He talks about how he was so scared when he first operated on someone and made a mistake. And he says he didn't let the fear get to him, because what he did was he turned away, took 5 seconds to focus on that fear, focus on, this was, my gosh, I made a mistake, what am I going to do? And he took 5 seconds, counted to 5, deep breath, turned, I've let the fear in, I've let it do its thing, it's done now, I'm going to focus and get the job done. And if you see me speak at a conference, when I'm feeling a little bit of that imposter syndrome, you'll see me either walk backstage, just out of the room, I take a deep breath, I walk around, heads up, shoulder back, stand strong, stand proud, walk in, I own this stage. This is my venue. I'm the guy that's presenting here, and I pass up that imposter syndrome and that fear. I confront it head on, and I get the job done. All right, so I click System Admin. Let's see, we should get our exception. Yes. And it should run. There we go. Show details. No. This is running Yeah, count to 10. Let's go. These aren't running because it's server-side rendered. Oh, boy. This is one of those boundaries between Blazor render modes that gets just a little wonky. You're right, DGen1. I could make the buttons pure JavaScript. I think I want a go back button as well. I don't think that's a thing. Like, we might have to do... I think that's going to be the way to get it. I don't think that's caught. I don't think it caught it. No. That isn't triggering right there. Oh, wait a sec. Why don't you like that? So if I drop you up there, yeah. It tried to. There's error boundary base. Yeah, now we're... Okay. Yeah, that's not going to work. Nope, sorry, teams. Yes, the .NET Aspire dashboard is written in Blazor. Go back over here and tell it to fix it. What? What are you doing? It's going to melt down here. Sure, go ahead, you fix it. Mm-hmm. What? Signal R connections for monitoring. Yeah, Blazor is used in a lot of Microsoft's own applications. Yes. And there are places where we are quite vocal about where it's being used, and some places where we aren't. So. Oh boy. My diet app is not going to be happy with me today. Yeah. I had that. Oh, I remember. I got to record what I ate yesterday. Stand by. And that. Last night I was at Philly.net, my local user group, and gave a talk there about using Copilot. So, what the heck are you doing? Some compilation errors. Some? Let's see what happens. Come on. There we go. Design excellence. Yeah. Error. Go to /error-demo. Prove it. Run it. Here we go. And it's off screen, of course. Come on, start that website. Let's go. I went to a Korean barbecue Tuesday night for dinner. And I'd never had Korean hot pot. This place had a little bit of both. Now it's just constantly errored. That's not right either. And what is the error? Declares more than one parameter called maximum error count. Custom error boundary. I don't see it. What the? Maximum error count. That's the only place it is. Should it be just in? And I'm in the weird half Copilot editing, half your editing. Come on now. Give me something. Come on. And then I should wrap up here and go take care of the dog. So let's see what we get. Come on. Nope. I am not going to commit this change yet, but I am going to go over to Visual Studio Code and try and tell it to address it. Oh my goodness, PowerShell Freak.
PowerShell_Freak just resubscribed for 67 months.
67 months. Thank you so much for that support. I'm going to let this thing run. But I need to go take care of the dog, take care of a couple other things. Sure. you want to install things, go right ahead. But in the meantime, I've got to call it here and move on and get into a couple other things. Thank you so much for all of that support, friends. Really appreciate it, and we're going to be doing more. I'm going to be back working on Tags app. Over the weekend, I've got a couple things that I got to get done with it before we get into October. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network. Who can I get you connected to that's doing something fun? Looking around the horn here, I'm going to send you over to... Let me send you over to Lana Lux. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back on Tuesday next week for more live coding, more chat about what's going on. Keep an eye on the Discord over the weekend. Literally Saturday, I have all day to work on this. I might be working tomorrow after I get done my procedure, but we'll see how into it I actually am. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, I've got a bunch of replays and other great videos, including the AI Bootcamp that was called out as a great resource. You can find those links down here, over here. Click through to the link to my channel and you can find all of those replays over there. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Get ready to say hi to my friend Lana Lux, and I will see you next time. And until then, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.